guess I'm going to the Arcane University.
Speak.
Good to see you.
Isn't Ida...
Hello. What can I help you with?
Garridan's Tears.
I have potions and everything you need to make your own.
I sort of want to ask about that, but let's focus on the
Safe
joining
travel.
Want
the
to learn to fall off
academy
a building?
first.
She's the
Hello, Associate. It seems you've obtained the final recommendation you required. May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
High level spells, everyone. Couldn't cast any of them.
I have received recommendations from all the local guild halls in Cyrodiil. You've done well for yourself. You may now enter the university. As a full-fledged member of the Mages Guild, I now also promote you to the rank of Apprentice and grant you the robe of the Apprentice. Take a moment and try it on. Then we shall speak of what comes next for you.
Fortify willpower 4 points. It is trash.
Goodbye. We come to the real work at last. You have, no doubt, seen some of the worst the guild has to offer. As much as we try to hold mages to a higher standard, they are only human. What I hope you will now see is that while the guild can be disjointed and misused, it can also achieve some wonderful things. Now you have an opportunity to engage in more meaningful tasks and continue with your advancement through the guild.
So, give me a task.
Before you can begin work for the guild, you'll need to do something for yourself. Every mage carries a staff. It is crafted and enchanted by the guild and is a symbol of status. You need such a staff. The wood used for staves comes from a grove to the northeast of the Imperial City, near Wellspring Cave. Several mages tend to the grove and should be able to assist you. Speak with either Zarasha or Ilette when you arrive, and choose wisely.
I need to find the grove near Wellspring Cave, northeast of the Imperial City, to acquire wood for my mage's staff. We'll go to Fort Rasek and head south.
You shall have a true mage's...
Fire at the wolf at an angle, so even if I miss, it'll hit the ground. That's not an Aelith ruin, it's I think it's a mana spring. Or a well. You draw power from the well. Full Magicka plus, I think popped the Magicka a little bit. How much? 43 points. Right, there should be some mages here to give us extra guidance. I've arrived at Wellspring Cave. I should speak with Elect or Zarasha. There are also dead people here.
What's that?
Turn undead. I have found Zarasha, who is dead. I should investigate what happened to her. Elette was the other one. That's Isle. Right, not bad at all. I can't really leverage the stealth to any kind of decent extra damage. My weapon skills are too low and I would have to use some sort of significant poison. Don't have marksman, which would be the only way to really leverage it to something significant as far as damage is concerned. I can get into touch range though. That's not a minor advantage. That's where most of the damage spells are. Most damage comes from. And against high elf, that's pretty much a death sentence. Can I loot this with telekinesis? No, it only applies to items on the ground, probably. Shit. Like we're going outside. So it's an entrance to the island, right?
What have we here? Another plaything? You'll dance for me, little one. Yes, you will. I will make your corpse dance and then tear itself apart.
Take down the easy targets first. Oh, we're in a bit of a trouble. My quick keys no longer work.
Warming up, you little worm.
The necromancers that ambushed me have been defeated. I need to get wood for a staff and get back to Ravenous Palace to tell him what's happened. Right, I think I know what the problem is. There's been a couple of situations where I've been stripped of here now. So, probably remove the quick slots too. Luckily these guys were sort of terrible. Unfinished staff. Any other point to this place? Not really seeing alchemical ingredients here. Almost died.
What? Necromancers at the cave? Ileta and Zarasha dead. I can't believe it. They've never been so bold before now. Always hiding in the shadows, staying away from the guild. What could have prompted this? I'll need to speak to the council about this. Thank you for relaying the information. Now tend to your staff and your wounds if necessary. Delmar at the Chironasium can help you with the staff. See him right away.
Delmar Chironesium.
Now that you have the wood, speak with Delmar at the Chironasium. I don't know what Archmage... The Arcane University has been here for nearly as long as the Mages Guild has been in Cyrodiil. It has been our home for ages. You shall have a true mage's staff soon.
But if I recall something about the Mages Guild, this is a wonderful place to collect alchemical ingredients.
I'm listening. Speak.
Greetings
I
to
won't
you.
take up much of your
Right,
time.
these are all free for the taking.
I had a breakthrough.
Nice variety in a one concentrated place, and it gets replenished fairly regularly. So you might not get everything, but you get a steady supply of a lot of things. At least a little bit.
The overall impact on alchemy is a complete unknown. And what of spellmaking?
Let us talk and see what we can come up with. We'll need some guidance.
What's the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
I'll get right
I
on.
understand Daedra worship has become increasingly prevalent in Somerset Isle.
It seems Somerset Isle.
Take care.
Good day. Hi.
Edgar Bautrine.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Please continue. Take care.
I think he's the guy who sells the discount spells. Right, we'll have to do the alchemy session sometime. Not sure if this is the correct time to do it. So I've been delaying it for a long time. And we're right at the threshold of getting a lot of new recipes if we just do it. Main real effect would be that we'll probably get decent health, fatigue and magic or recovery potions. Things that instead of just dumping a large amount of any kind of stats at us, they'll have a more of a trickle effect on a longer duration. So before a fight we can use one and it'll last us through the fight. Continually enhancing the recovery rate of health, stamina and magicka. We can save the instant recovery things for emergencies. A lustratorium, what the hell is that? It's probably not what it sounds like. Looks like alchemy related things.
How goes it? I'm sorry, fellow Magister, but I don't have time to talk right now. My studies keep me very busy, as you can well imagine.
Actually, no. Probably not that busy. Sounds more like an excuse. Not wanting to talk to me. We might start to get decent level of poisons too. Considering how pathetic the damage from our weapon is, it would not hurt to have some kind of an extra poison effect on it.
Never ceases to amaze me, fellow scholar. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you'd share your findings.
I'll take my leave of you, fellow Magister.
Ah, Magister. I just remembered. There's something I...
Practice rooms. We do need to find the Chironesium. Chironesium.
How do you... Martina Floria, Master Enchanter for the Mages Guild. Welcome to the Chironesium. Enchanting, isn't it? Delmar handles all staff enchantments. You'll need to speak to him. Bye.
Altar of Enchanting. Chain boots. We have let's try, what can you get with a pity soul? Constant effect of detect life. Nothing. 8 feet. Feather. 14. And this is pretty much the weakest possible one. Shield effects. 6. This is 6% of constant resistance against fire and physical damage. 45 magic is also available. Yes. 9 points. There doesn't appear to be a restore option, so I can't have a increased level of rest or recovery rate on any attribute. Which is fine, I suppose. It just shifts how certain things are valued. You need to get, if you want higher fatigue recovery, you probably just need a higher value and certain skills at a better level. So the recovery is increased and you have to hit less, so your hits matter more. Probably maximum for the stamina increase also increases the fatigue recovery rate in absolute numbers. How about shield? It was pretty much 6% even with an elemental shield, so enchantment wise it makes no sense to use the shield effect. You might as well use an elemental shield. You'll get two resistance bonuses at the price of one. Why can you add constant shock damage to an item you wear yourself? Could something like this be put in someone's inventory and have them kill themselves? Because NPCs have the tendency to use the best armor available, for example. I have no idea. No idea on that one. Okay, you could add the constant water breathing with the worst possible soul gem. Probably water walking too. Yeah. It's expensive, sure, but it doesn't require much from the soul gem. Much less than I thought, in fact. How about weakness to poison? 5%. Right, this is... It works well with certain things and in weird ways with others. Point is, we have all the weaknesses as effect, so we can probably use them in the spell creation too. Yeah. Right, it's probably a problem here that we're during the wrong time of day, so we can't find the correct people.
Hello.
Greetings, apprentice.
I'll finish looting the alchemical ingredients, find some place to rest or just wait.
Hi.
Until later then. I've got a moment, but little more. What do you need?
Do you remember that matter you asked me to look into? I have some new information. In short, what you proposed is possible.
Well, it's not surprising, really. This is necromancy we're talking about, after all. Such a hideous discipline. All that blood and rot.
There are, of course, some other mitigating factors, but we could investigate a bit further. The overall impact.
Let me know.
Take care.
A couple more mushrooms and that's it. Not quite sure how many ingredients we haven't got from these. A lot of you find nothing. Praxographical Center. This is for creating your own spells.
Good evening.
Mystic Archives. Probably a library. We do need to create some spells and I have the money for it, so we might as well spend some time here.
Borisian, Master Spellmaker for the Mages Guild. Guildsmen only, of course. Can I interest
Probably,
you in some
yeah,
of my
very
wares?
high level spells. Fortify Speed is actually one that is not a high level spell. Summon Sibylai, Summon Lich, Summon Gloom Wraith. Legendary Soul Trap, Spell Absorption, Magic Drain. Spell Absorption is probably a ability we want to buy, but Legendary is a bit too good. And Legendary is 25 points for 25 seconds. $110 points of shock damage on target. Chameleon 75% for 30 seconds. Feather 250 points for what, 5 minutes? 6 minutes. We might want to create a feather spell that has a very short duration but a high power. So basically you could loot a huge amount of crap and quick travel somewhere else using it.
Not only his neck... What? There's a city out there? You don't say. What good is it, eh? Dirt, horses, idiots, be my guest. Gaspar and I have learned a great many spells over the years. Once you've learned them, you can use the knowledge to create your own. Goodbye.
Right. What we needed was... Ooh. With bound spells, you need the exact spell. It's not enough to have a bound spell and then switch the target. Not that it matters too much. Right, we want a charm spell. That's just one goal. Magnitude as much as possible. Area 0, touch, so maybe 3-second duration. Something I can just use on a target and then disposition is maxed. We'll mark all custom spells with a C. That way they're in a single location in the spell list. Maybe with a couple of additional letters. Just in case. Well, we're going to... This is Charm. Charm 100. I don't want to later on start guessing what the hell the spell does, so... This also means a lot of the other charm spells are basically obsolete. So we can start removing them from the list. There's no real need to do it now, but that's the theory at least at this point. I'm sort of curious how Fortify Magicka spell works, because it's literally you using Magicka in order to gain more Magicka. So if the fortification is basically lesser than what you spent to cast it, it makes not much sense. There's a use case where your threshold of Magicka is not enough to cast something and you might buff it a little bit. But you're required to use some sort of potion to make it work. Alternatively, you can use it to create extra Magicka out of nothing. So either way, there's gonna be issues with it. You probably don't want too long of a duration. You want to cast this. You want to switch to another spell that you have planned to cast and you want to cast that. That's how I see this being used in the most sensible way. And it's fairly... Magnitude is 100 at max and it's not that expensive. You get 100 points of extra Magicka magnitude for a quarter of the Magicka. It's fairly cheap. This is a test spell. I have no idea if this is any way useful. Magica. 100. 100 for 5s. Simple enough. Actually, the more is sort of irrelevant there. Requires restoration skill of 25. Right, I'm honestly very curious how this works. Currently we have full Magica of 230. So what happens if I cast this? We have... yeah, we lose the points. But in reality we gain a lot of Magica. About 60 points. By casting this. It'll run out quickly, that's fine. But it's enough to cast something a little bit more expensive. Not sure if there's all that much use for it. Maybe with some of the summoning spells. Because duration is a big thing in them. So it's not all about just the creature qualities, how long it'll last. With the cheaper creatures it doesn't matter, they're gonna be killed long before the time runs out. But with the better ones it might be the exact opposite. That they could last for a long time, but it becomes increasingly expensive to cast, things like that. Right, restore attribute was another one. We need all attributes covered. Can't be as simple as this. As cheap as possible, doesn't matter. I think we have a restore lock, doesn't matter, we're gonna create this for every attribute. I don't think you can add additional attributes to this. Yeah, it's maybe another effect entirely. Right, but it has to be something totally different. Each effect only once. So spells that do fire damage twice that you can buy are only things you cannot make yourself. But you can make spells that use multiple different types or even resistance lowering effects on the same spell. Intelligence. This is not all that often used, but if you get hit by a bad effect like this, you really want to get rid of it. And usually when it happens, it's not exactly convenient to just quick travel to town just to use it once, because you're likely going to encounter multiple enemies using the same effect. It's one of those things that you don't really need until you really need it. So Do we need something else? Yeah, I think what we need is a resistance lowering range spell of some sort. No matter how good of a damage spell we take, sooner or later we're gonna reach a point where it's not gonna be all that effective at killing anything. In order to basically have it be any use after that point, it has to come with some sort of lower resistance effect. So we might as well prepare for that. I'm not sure if our casting skill is enough for that at the moment. Need to make another one for luck, even though we have it as a spell already. I don't want to search it at a different location. I want all the same type of spells to be located near each other in the spell list. Right. Optimally, you would want each resistance to be in the same goddamn spell, but that's probably unreasonable. It'll cost too much. Also, I'm not sure if it should be a touch range spell. It'll be a lot cheaper. So you basically do it as a 1-2 combo. If you would add additional weakness to another spell, you could probably stack them. But I think weakness to magic and an element would be more or less what you want. And you would prefer it as a target, so you can throw the weakening effect first, then follow it up with a touch attack, so you don't have to spend too much time in the danger zone. It could be very expensive though. Magicka weakness would work with all elemental types. But usually you are going for something specific versus a specific target. What was the duration? 4 seconds? It is very expensive, but it'll also more than double the effectiveness of the follow-up attacks, and we do have quick keys for the Magicka recovery. So I'm not sure if 4 seconds is the good choice here though, because how much does it increase the cost if we just add a few extra seconds? We would prefer to have the ability to attack the target multiple times instead of having to recast this. But it's getting so expensive that I'm going to have trouble using this at all. We have about a natural 200 Magicka. So using pretty much half of your Magicka pool to just cast this is, I think, still acceptable, but that's pretty much the borderline. We would be able to maybe cast 2 to 3 attack spells on the target after this. That's fine. Yeah, 8 seconds seems to be a good threshold for now. I'll make another one for actually, I think I'll make 3 of these for each element. How to name these? I can't The destruction skill is 75, that's too much. I need to lower the duration, how much? Yeah, just a 1 second lower and it'll be 50, so 7 seconds. Go with weakness. M and S, 100. 7 seconds. It's always magic and an element, so shock, cold, fire should be easy to distinguish. This is getting expensive, but again, I think this is worth it. Uh, 7 seconds, please. Not sure if this is going to be useful now. This is more or less future-proofing our destruction magic. Right. 100%, 7 seconds. Oh, for God's sakes. One final spell, then we're broke anyway. Right. And save. Nice lists. I'll have to more or less have a switch the quick slots a little bit. Right, the staff needs to go. Weakness to an effect comes first. Then we'll have a corresponding spell attacks. And we have heal. Then we will have a summon. Then a training spell, more or less. Apparently it's the shield. Right. So we'll just switch the 3 attack spells there, depending on the element we want to use. I'm sure it'll work out fine.
Well met. Master Spellmaker Gaspar Stegin at your service. New spells, old spells, good spells, bad spells. They're all fun for me.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Spider Daedra. Disintegrate weapon. There's probably a touch range open lock spell. I wonder how much alteration it requires.
I understand that Dagail is in much better control of her faculties now that Calthar's plot has been exposed. Goodbye.
Right. I'll go and dump my alchemical ingredients here, wait until daytime, then talk about the staff. When we get to our first proper enemy that can handle more than a single casting of our attack spell, I'll also test how much of a difference does the weakness spell cast in front of the damage spell actually make. 230 magicka. We're burning closer to what? 90 for the resistance lowering effect. Good attack spell after that is what? About 30. I think we can do better at this stage. Yeah. 60. So there's some recovery happening during time, so maybe we can cast it maybe 3 times. 2 is guaranteed. 3 is a maybe. It's still better than trying to cast. It's still much better than trying to just use the damage spell on its own. Much better. I'm not overly concerned about our current lack of wealth. If we do the alchemy, we can get a huge amount of potions we can sell. And since there seems to be no limit on how much money each trader has, we just need to find one good one, and we can probably get a couple thousand gold out of him. Right, a little bit of a management heavy session this time. I think that'll pay off massively when we start to hit rough spots.
Ah, you must be the Arcane University's newest edition.
How are you today?
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you?
Mage staff.
Ah, yes. This is a big step for you, friend, whether you know it or not. Now you'll need to decide what sort of staff you're looking for. Something that fits you and your abilities. Shall we begin?
Yes, please.
Enchanting staves can be a tricky business. Only certain spells will be truly useful to you, so I'll narrow it down some. Let's start with the school. Which appeals most to you? Destruction, illusion, or mysticism?
I use no illusion, I really don't use mysticism, so destruction.
Very well. You have 3 choices for what type of damage you'd like it to do. Fire, frost, or shock.
I have a shock staff already. Fire staff is probably the least useful. Maybe frost?
Your staff will give you power over ice. Is that what you want? If not, we can start over.
That's what I want.
Right. I'll get to work. You come see me tomorrow, and I'll have your staff ready.
Well met.
Yeah, we'll just wait 24 hours here. Don't feel like going to some side trekking mission. Might as well get this done right now. I'm somewhat curious how useful the staff is gonna be. The totem staff is what? 20 points on target. Not great, but it's still a decent amount of damage considering you can cast 111 times.
Welcome to the Cairo. Yes, it's all finished. It's in that cupboard back in the corner. I hope it serves you well. Bye.
$40 points. So double damage, but the amount of charges is massively less. It's still a respectable amount. I mean, 40 times. It's enough to kill a lot of people. Am I free to take the rest? Bound War Axe, Electrifying Bolt, Shield Wall. Yeah, I'll take everything. I don't really get where the Goblin Totem Staff gets its value. Has a high charge, so I suppose there. Five points of shock damage for 6 seconds on target. It's a weird spell. Fortify heavy armor and shield, 15%. Right. How much free carry weight? More around 100 pounds, so we're not in a bad place. Any quests we want to go after? Yeah, maybe the Tears of Garridan's Tears. The guy who can give us more information is also here. Julian Vanis. And we have a new selection of powerful attack spells we can use, so I'm sure we have no problems.
What can I help you with?
Tell me about Garridan's Tears.
You aren't the first person to go looking for those. Quite a remarkable story, really. I know a bit about it.
Please, I wish to hear it.
Certainly. Garridan was a knight who lorded over a small village of peaceful farmers. One harvest summer, there was a horrible drought. The farmers appealed to Garridan to discover a solution. He spent a week consulting with sages until one of them mentioned a possibility. The sage told him of an artifact called the Everflow Ewer. The vessel, which looked like a silver pitcher, was said to supply endless water.
Amazing.
Yes, indeed. Legend has it that Garridan found the ewer, and that it was guarded by a fearsome creature. It is also said that the creature froze him. When Garridan realized his quest was a failure, and he wouldn't be able to return and save the farmers, he began to shed some tears. As the ice enveloped him, some of his tears were frozen as well. Some even say that the divine, Mara, took pity on the poor knight. To commemorate his kind heart, she imbued the tears with some sort of magical power. That's only rumour, though. You know, if you're really interested in more, there's a book I read once called Nightfall. It may have more about Garridan.
Where can I find this book?
I think I saw a copy last time I was at the first edition bookshop in the Market District. I don't know what I rarely leave the university, as I have all I need right here. If you need ingredients, try Ogier Georic at the main ingredient. I wish I could tell you more about them, but that's all I remember from speaking to my colleagues here at the university. Good luck with your fieldwork for Sindarian. Please visit me again anytime. Anything else?
Yeah, actually,
Only
shopping.
quality goods.
We can get rid of some items. Mainly a lot of potions that have anything to do with attribute recovery. Charisma, personality recovery, luck recovery,
An excellent bargain.
agility recovery. That it? Bestow intelligence. Strength. No, we want that. Right, not that many, but we are. That's all covered by spells now, so it doesn't matter.
I can't afford to do that.
Ah, Julian Ifanis actually has a limited amount of gold.
Tell your friends about me. Please visit me again anytime. I'm glad to help. Give Sadrasa my regards.
Yeah, now I'm confused. How the hell is it supposed to work? Is everyone supposed to have a limited amount of gold or what? Because there doesn't seem to be all that much consistency in how this thing works. It's sort of irrelevant to me. I don't really care. It just, if there's a limited amount, it means I'm going to have to just stagger how I sell stuff. So it's not gonna really change anything. It'll alter how I'm going to have to go about it. That's it.
It is good to see. What can I interest you?
Right. They're certainly not losing any money. Just wanted to get rid of the weaker healing.
You drive a hard bargain. A fine transaction.
Snowball scrolls, please. I wonder if the game allows you to make your own scrolls. That would be a useful thing.
That's a good deal.
Right.
Another.
Got rid of a little bit of extra weight. That's more or less it.
Please return soon.
Right. We're going after Garridan's tears.